Have you ever had something weigh on you so heavy you just needed to post on it? It feels like we're more divided than ever. Left versus right, red versus blue, us and them. Most of us want some basic things. A safe place to live, fair shot at life, decent health care, and a future for our kids and grandkids. So how did we end up hating each other instead? Sometimes it feels like the news just doesn't report what's happening. It frames it like division is the product being sold. I'm not saying we all have to agree. I am saying we're still Americans and still people. Have any of the rest of you noticed this narrative? And if so, say something in the comments.
If I told my Republican friends that I was liberal, this would be their reaction. Okay. I respect what you believe. We can agree to disagree. But when my liberal friends found out that I was a Republican, that's not how it went. They're actually not even my friends anymore, and that was not what I wanted. And I'm not saying all Democrats are that way, I'm just talking about my experience.
You know what's always been so crazy to me is that social media and the news is there to divide you. Like those influencers, the news channels, they don't care about you. They don't care about what you think. They want to divide you, okay? They want to take your hard opinions, okay? Grab them, bring them with you, and then divide you from everyone else. They want us, because they know once we all collectively agree that something is wrong, then they can't do anything. They have no power, okay? Once we all come together and agree, yeah, this is wrong. We cannot stand with this. We have to fight against this. They're like, oh shit, they caught on. Fucking holy shit, they got brains for cells. Now, what are we gonna do? We can't control them now. It's the fact that people are so close-minded and they take things like Democrat and Republican so serious and take these titles like they're their fucking honor, when in reality, they were literally made to separate people. Those two things were made to separate us. What are we not understanding? What is so hard to comprehend from that? Like, I don't understand it at all. It's so crazy to me. What do y'all?
And one of the crazy things that I've recently recognized is that folks is divided out here nowadays. I've never seen a time, and I haven't been. I'm only 36, but just from my observation of just even 5 years ago, 10 years ago, where people were kind of in society holistically working together, on jobs and on projects. Now you just see it less and less, but what do you see more of is more people at each other's throats, more people at each other's heads, and it's getting crazy.
So people are feeling more divided than ever. I remember back then people can still agree to disagree, but now if you let them know that, hey, I believe this, that you're leaning towards something, that they will unfollow you, that they will no longer be your friends. Because that's how much extreme it has become. Because I believe social media has really created this division, this drastic division, pushing propaganda left and right, and made people more socially divided, because we're not meant to be talking to each other digitally. If we need to settle things out, we need to settle it face to face. But now, when you are behind this phone, this computer screen, you can say whatever you want. Your ideas, your ideologies just, they escalate to a degree where you can say, you can do whatever you want behind the screen and hate the person behind the screen instead of actually talking to that person face to face and actually have a conversation, a friendly debate. So this technology, along with the ideologies being pushed left and right, is what created the division of so much hate and just pure division.
I ain't gonna lie, man. It's crazy when I sit here and really think about how divided we are as a people. Like, I'm already trying to figure out why. It's like, well, I know why, so they can control us. They couldn't control us if we was all on the same agenda. But we divided in so many ways, like just in America alone. Just even like the countries, like divided by countries and, you know what I'm saying, continents and whatnot. But just America alone, like, you got white and black. Then on both sides of that, you got Democrats versus Republicans on the black side and the white side. You got Christians versus non-Christians. You got fucking liberals and conservatives. And of course, you know, we always got the rich versus the poor. And just even like more on the black side, we got the gangs. It ain't even just Crips and Bloods no more. Like we got that much more divided, bro. It's not just Crips and Bloods. Now you got 5, 6, 7, 8 different sets of Bloods. Now you got like 10 different sets of Crips, and they don't even like each other. So I'm like, bro, what the fuck, like? And I feel like this shit gonna get worse before it get better, man. Because it's being done on purpose, and it's like really nothing we can do about it. Well, we can, but a lot of us is not really tuned the fuck in. It's like now, like we losing our women now. Like we getting that much more divided. Now it's man versus woman all day, every day on fucking TikTok. Is this feminism movement? It's just more division. And that was the last part that we really need. Like that's gonna be the end of it all. If all the men hate the fucking women, if all the women hate the fucking men, like. I feel like this shit gonna get worse before it get better, man. We'll see.
This is something I've realized about the biggest reason why people just cannot get along. And I don't usually talk about politics or religion and all that stuff because everyone says religion and politics are the biggest things that divide communities, nations, and that is true. But I think that it's not just people's religion or politics, it's people's inability to have respect for one another. People's constant need to be right. That's what keeps people divided, because we can all coexist and have completely different beliefs, values, morals. It's all about being able to recognize that not everyone has to have the exact same beliefs as you. There's too many people out there that feel like they need to push their beliefs onto everyone else. And if they meet someone that has different beliefs, they need to tell them why their beliefs are wrong, why they need to change their mind. It's ridiculous. The longer people are not able to just have fucking respect for one another, have boundaries, and just be able to appreciate that we're all different human beings, the longer people are going to be unaliving other people, being completely divided, and it's just sad. You could get 100 different people from the same religion, from the same side of politics, and those 100 people will still have differentiating beliefs, values, morals, personalities, because we are all individuals at the end of the day. Religion, politics, that is literally just society's way of trying to fit people into categories or boxes, but you can never do that, because at the end of the day, people are individual people. Even if they are in a group of a certain religion or belief system, they're still going to be different from everyone else in that same box or belief. It's really not hard to be able to think, this person has different beliefs to me. I can listen, but I don't have to try and push my beliefs or get into a conflict. Why can't we just appreciate that we're all different? It's immature. I feel like it's immature, and it's worldwide, and it's just like, fucking chill, daddy.
To all of the young people out there, society did not always used to feel like this, like where everybody feels so divided and everything feels so negative and just like Debbie Downer. People used to get along relatively well, and you'll hear that from a lot of people who are my age or older. And I think the main reason why society used to be so different from how it is today is because back then people did not hyper analyze every little thing about everything. Like, people weren't so hypercritical back then. You could just say you like the Victoria's Secret fashion show without someone bringing up, oh, like that reinforces negative body image and stereotypes. And you could just say, I like Kanye West music, without someone assuming that that means that you co-sign every single thing that Kanye West has ever done or said. Or like, if you just say you like this country, you appreciate your freedoms, that doesn't automatically mean that you co-sign every negative thing that has occurred in American history. You could compliment someone without that being a microaggression. Things just used to be viewed much more simply, and sometimes that's the best way to view things. It's not intellectual to frame everything in the most negative light possible. That's not intellectual. That's just miserable.
The world is not in a good place right now. The people are more divided than ever. The labor market is getting more and more difficult for people who are unskilled and just have a degree to show for it, because they're using the technology to get that degree that's actually replacing them. So now humans are essentially unskilled and hate each other. It's causing a huge divide, and as life gets harder and as this divide grows stronger, I'm not gonna lie, it just seems like the worst is yet to come. There is already a widening wealth gap that is happening right now, and it is up to you guys to be able to distinguish yourself from the average human being, because eventually the average human being is going to be at a very low level in life compared to the people that are financially free, and it is up to you to be able to put yourself in a position to distinguish yourself amongst the others.
So I kind of have a theory to why there's division and how it relates to technology advancing. Because if you think about it, right, things are getting much faster and faster. We're headed towards AI, we're headed towards robotics. And if you notice, people are becoming less human. People are becoming less human. People are becoming less social. People are becoming more robotic. So if you really think about it, if you relate it, technology is advancing, people are becoming less human, less social. Where are we headed? We are being programmed to be like robots, to act like humanoids, or that's where we're headed. That's where our mindset, that's where our minds are being programmed towards. Because humans, you can feel humanity. Humanity is togetherness. But humanoids, AI robots, they are separate individuals. They're individuals. They don't really have that humanity together, that togetherness. That's what they lack. And that's where we're headed. We're lacking that togetherness. We're lacking that unity. So if you really think about it, as technology advances, we might become robots pretty soon.
I am so tired of living in the divided states of America. I'm so tired of feeling just the division, the us against them, the other party is the worst party ever, right? Like it's just old now. Where's the unity anymore? Where's the power in the people? I feel like people now are just so divided, and they can't even fathom putting themselves in someone else's shoes and understanding what the other person might be going through or why they have the beliefs that they do. Here's the thing. We are all here to experience the human experience to our fullest potential, and that means having different perspectives. But like, hating another person because they disagree with you or they don't agree with where you're coming from, like, I don't know, to me that just like feels cheap, stirs the pot, and it causes more division and more division and more division. And tell me why that feels like that's been the intention all along, is just to create division in this world, because that is what makes our nation powerless, the people at least. We become so powerless when we're divided. But there is something that we can do on a daily basis, and maybe that's just asking yourself, what can I do today to feel united to my fellow human beings, the people around you, you know? Those are human beings, and if you believe in the law of divine oneness, we are all one. So just a reminder that hate has never been the answer. War has never been the answer. Killing another human being has never been the answer. I don't feel like it's ever truly solved anything. I hate to come on here and be like, we need to love each other more, but like, it's true. We do. And I'm going to share that message because it's important. I'm sending you love, and I know how good it feels, and more than anything, I just want to feel connected to other people, not divided and not in hate.
Jesus, Lamonte, Christ. These are three groups that we need to leave in 2025. 1, overly religious people, full of shit, too extreme. 2, feminists, way too extreme. And 3, the red pills, way too extreme. Like, if you are too far left or too far right in your beliefs, but you own some bullshit, because everything in life is about balance. You got the religious people that feel like, you know, especially the Christians, oh, everything about us is right, everybody else is wrong and evil. But bro, find some balance in that shit. You got the feminists say shit like, all men deserve to be born in prison and prove they way. Like, bro, get the fuck out of here. That don't apply to y'all sons and stuff. Then you got the red pill dudes with, I can speak on that because I'm a man. They be like, oh, women are gold diggers and whores. They just want to take your... I promise you, 9 out of 10 of these podcast dudes are the lames. These was the dudes who never really had access or experience with women when we was teenagers, early 20s. So they misleading people just like your reverends and the feminists and them do. Let me tell you something. Y'all can vouch. If you just a naturally cool dude, always been cool, or naturally funny, you got access to all women. Women will literally just want to, hey, what you got up later? Is it cool if I stop by? Because they just enjoy being around you. When you a square and all you got is some money, of course, what you gonna have access to? People that want money, because they don't want to hang with you for nothing else. But it just shows y'all, it be the worst people misleading motherfuckers and sounding like they really spit some game to y'all, bro. Like, stop listening to these people in 2026, because they dividing everybody up. Men hate women, women hate men. Religious people telling everybody they need to get with a program and pay money. It's just, at this point, do what works for you in your journey, man. But stop listening to this bullshit, especially from people who don't have results. The feminists don't have results. They don't have good men around them. The red pills don't have no cool women around them, just the whores and gold diggers. The reverends ain't got nothing going on with them except money, and you broke. So let's stop listening to these folks, all right?
You do realize they want us fighting each other, right? You do realize they want us arguing with each other. You do realize that they want us divided. You do realize they want us blaming each other. Because when we are divided, when we don't get along with our fellow human beings, that's when they can control us. That's when they can manipulate us. The only way out of this is to love each other. It's not to fight, it's not to argue, it's not to wish pain on each other. It's to love. It's to love those who you strongly disagree with. And now remember, love doesn't mean that you have to go give them a big hug. It doesn't mean that you have to reach out to those people you disagree with. But loving each other means that you are going to continue to vibrate at the highest frequency no matter what. And you will continue to spread that love no matter what. Because when we are fighting from a place of lack and victimhood and scarcity, that only leads to more lack and victimhood and scarcity. But when we take action from a place of love, even if it's love mixed with a little bit of rage and anger, that's when we can create the world that we want to see, a world where love thrives. If we want love to thrive, we have to start now. We have to start loving each other now, no matter what.
I do believe, though, that love is the most powerful force in this universe. I believe love solves everything. It fixes hate, it fixes the society, it fixes everything that you can think of. Chaos, greediness, all these negative feelings, love defeats it all. Love overpowers all emotions. If we have love with each other, we'd be good. You know, even the most powerful people on earth, the corrupt ones, if they have love, they wouldn't let their people suffer. You know, sure, they can corrupt the system, but if they have love for the people, they wouldn't let their people suffer. You know, sure, corrupt the system, it's fine, but don't let us suffer. We be chilling, we be good. Just give us enough and we'll be fine. We have enough love to live life so we can just be happy. We can be together as humans. We can love each other as a whole, not as an individual, self-egotistical person who only cares about themselves. You know, we can actually care about each other and give each other love.
If the people ever realized they had more in common than they'd been told, they'd be unstoppable. So those in power had a strategy. Don't let them come together. Don't let them see each other as neighbors. Make them enemies. Divide them by skin color, by birthplace, by paperwork, by religion, by fear. Tell the poor white farmer that the black sharecropper is the problem. Tell the factory worker that the migrant is stealing his job. Tell the citizen that the asylum seeker is dangerous. And it works, as long as no one asks questions. Because here's the truth. Your enemy is never the one with less than you. It's the one convincing you to fight your neighbor while they take more for themselves. And this didn't start this year. It didn't start with a tweet or a campaign slogan. It's one of the oldest tricks in the American book. Back in 1676, poor white colonists and both free and enslaved Africans teamed up in what's now called Bacon's Rebellion. They were sick of being used, tired of the governor and the wealthy elite hoarding land and power, so they rose up together. And that terrified the people in charge. So after the rebellion ended, they rewrote the rules. They divided the poor by race. They gave poor white men a little bit of power. Land rights, voting rights, status, but only if they agreed to see black people as beneath them. And it worked. Poor whites stopped organizing across color lines, and a system of race-based division took root. Not because it was true, but because it was useful. You see the same tactic after slavery ends. During Reconstruction, there's a glimpse, just a glimpse, of black political power. Men who had been enslaved now voting, owning land, even holding office. And instead of expanding the vision to include everyone, those in power split the country again. Black codes, Jim Crow, lynchings, literacy tests, propaganda in the press, and always the same message. You are losing your country because of them. Fast forward to the 1900s, immigrants fled in from Italy, Ireland, China, Mexico, and once again, the people in power were whispering, they're dirty, they're criminals, they're taking what's yours. Instead of unity among workers fighting for fair wages and safety, they fought each other. Instead of standing up to corporations and factory owners, they blamed their neighbor for speaking a different language. You see it again in the 1980s, the war on drugs. Communities of color devastated, labeled as violent, dangerous, other. While wealthier, whiter suburbs were told to be afraid, not of the drugs, but of the people. And today, we see it every time someone tells you to be afraid of them, but they can't name who they are, can't tell you a single story, can't show you the threat. Just fear and silence and division. But here's the truth they hope we never figure out. We were never meant to fight each other. We were meant to fight for each other. Our power is in solidarity, in neighborliness, in not taking the bait. Because if we ever stop long enough to see each other clearly, to tell the real stories, to name the real villains, we'll remember who the country actually belongs to. It's not about left and right. It's not about race or language or papers. It's about people versus power that doesn't want to be held accountable. And once you see the trick, you never fall for it again.
I think it's so wild seeing how divided that the generation is now, as far as like how things are so sexualized and how commitment and just being modest and having self-respect is so non-existent now. And it's like crazy because I know it wasn't always like this. I can like remember growing up, man, chicks was like committing suicide for being exposed or for being embarrassed. But I think it's so scary now because, especially my generation, it's like we ain't scared of nothing, you know? Like, before it was like, you scared of the consequences that come with your actions, whether it's a job, whether it's, you know, your relationship, whether it's with your family finding out. Now it's like everything is so overly sexualized and being sold. It's like we didn't turn the stuff that's not normal into normal. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't turn everything that's so not common, and we've normalized it. And it's so sad because, man, I wouldn't even want to raise no kids in this life, because you gotta damn near be in that position to really raise a child, you know? Public schools and having your kids around just any and everybody, man, that'll fuck your kids up. And I'm saying this shit from like experience, cause like growing up, I wish I could have, like, knowing what I know now, I wish I could have been less around all the corruption. You know what I'm saying? I know most people wish they didn't have to grow up in this corrupt life, because it'll psychologically fuck you up. You would be programmed, you know what I'm saying? You would be thinking the most dumbest shit. You would be thinking the most craziest stuff. It's normal. And it's crazy because when you go around different environments and you see how different people live, I'm talking about different states, different countries, different neighborhoods. You know, some people ain't never been out the hood. You really see it's so much more out here. And it kind of start to change your mind. It shift your mind to like realize like, damn, I've been stuck in this trap all of these years. I thought that this was all my life, you know what I'm saying, consisted of. And it is how you, like I said, sitting back reflecting on all the years of trauma, all the years of this and this and that, and growing up in this era thinking that the most wildest shit was just like a regular everyday life. Well, no, this shit really is crazy.
As technology advances, I believe in the future we're just going to be even more divided, because technology is what creates separation. If you really think about it, man, we rely too much on our technologies. Technology is our best friend now. Our phones, the computer, they're the ones that are always with you. And that's what creates separation. That's what creates division. And through phones, through television, through computers, that's where propagandas are being pushed, and people will get brainwashed. People will get programmed. You can't really resist it unless you quit social media, you quit out of technology and just live in the wilderness. There's very minority of people that would do that. That's 0.5% of people that would actually give up technology, social media. Because let's face it, man, to become one, to become together, we need to be with each other face to face and be on each other's side. And if there's people ranting behind the screen, behind the phones, where they think they can do whatever they want, they can say whatever they want, it's just going to create more hate. And as technology advances, we're just going to be more self-reliant, self-loving, egotistical individuals that, you know, we don't really care about each other. We only care about our own selves, our opinions, and that's all that matters. But let's try to promote love as much as we can, because love fixes everything. It fixes division. It fixes hate in this society. It fixes everything. So yeah, peace.